Guys, welcome to my tutorial on how to rocket jump. Rocket jumping is something really useful in Team Fortress 2. I know I haven't done my intro yet, but we're just going to jump into this. Rocket jumping, like I said, can be really useful, and it's useful because you can get to places faster. Even though scouts can, obviously jump and move faster than you, it's still a good way. First of all, I'm going to show you how to rocket jump. For this, I'm not sure what it's called, I think it's called a wall jump. So you basically just use a wall, and now first of all, to wall jump you have to learn how to rocket jump first. To rocket jump you want to press the control, or basically your crouch button, space, or your jump button, and your fire button, which is basically default left click. So you want to press crouch, space, shoot, all at the same time, like this. That do a simple rocket jump. Now to wall jump, it's a bit more difficult. You basically need to do everything I told you, but on a wall. Basically, you do crouch, jump, shoot, right like there. You have to kind of use some logic here, even though I hate logic. First of all, you don't want to aim up like this, because you obviously move down. You don't want to aim at the bottom, because sometimes you'll fly up and do that again. Basically just do that. And to some people that might be bad, but especially do it on the side just because you get to places further than others. Now, the thing I find really hard to do is combinations. So basically there is a little trick you can do on Badlands, and it is using this method. That is one of the most difficult things you can do on Badlands. Number 2 is basically the pogo. Now, pogo is much more difficult. Basically, what pogo is, while I get the health, is basically just kind of continuously, well, not really, because you're using only 4 rockets, but continuously 4 rockets or more if you're going on a server. Just rocket jumping, and you're kind of in the air. So kind of like that. And eventually you'll have to move your cursor up, and you'll eventually do it. Now, it does get a while. The problem is that because you only got 4 rockets, you can't really get that much speed. As you can see, I'm trying to get some speed here, but I'm constantly staying still because of 4 rockets. Number 2 is taking less fall damage. Now that is a bit more difficult because basically you're going to fall and you take rocket damage, or fall damage, sorry. You can see when I rocket jump, or just shoot myself with a rocket, if I face this way, you can see that big red mark on the screen. And that, if that happens to you on your last rocket fire, you can see you'll take no fall damage. If I do this, I'll get one there, and take the fall damage. That's a good thing if that happens. I'll be showing you how to get to places further. Now, if you want to get from here probably to there instead of just walking there, use objects like this random can, then take less fall damage, use this rock. You have to kind of find things that really match up. Now, I'll be showing you how to get to places really quickly. So basically, you're gonna exit spawn and do the same thing. Use a wall, full damage, just do that. Then you got another wall here, use that. Now you're here. Now you want to get there, use the random can thing, no fall damage, that rock, no fall damage, and now you're in the enemy's base much quicker than any other class. Probably except from the scout. Now what you can do is you can go ahead and take the last point. Unfortunately you can't because you don't have the spire. Our next one is called wall jumping. So I did tell you about the side one where you do that. This one is to get in places which you can't really reach. So say I got up here, and do another rocket just to get somewhere higher. Now this isn't really the best example because that's not really a giant wall. I'll be showing you that in a minute. Alright, for example we're going to go here, and we're just going to use this wall, but that might screw up, so look. Do that again, and I kind of use 2 rockets. I'll probably do it here, so if I just go here. I do 1 rocket, 2 rockets, and I land up here. What you can do is sometimes, if you're probably more pro than me, you can actually use 1 rocket to get up here.
Time has been added.
Do you understand that?
Number 2 is basically strafing. As you can see, if I do here, I'm kind of strafing very slowly. And by the way, I'll be showing you how to do this in 1 rocket, as you can see. Oops. But like I was saying, strafing. Now this is very important. I never knew this, but now I do. When you're strafing and you're in the air, you have to hold your crouch button and use the A and D keys. But by the way, you don't just go like this. You have to use the side, kind of strafe like that. A bit more complex because it's very hard to strafe, as you can see. Now there is a shovel in your loadout called the Market Gardener. What that does is when you're in the air, like I'm in the air now, it basically crits people when you're in the air. Basically, say if someone's up there, you're up here. If I hit them and just in the air, I can still get 195 damage crit on them. Now, next one is actually using the rocket launcher and your loadout. Now, first of all, I am using the rocket jumper, which basically, if you don't know, as you can see, a special no damage rocket launcher for learning rocket jumping tricks and patterns. So you don't really damage yourself. That means basically I can do this as long as I want and take no damage. When the default one or other ones actually make you take damage. As you can see, I am using a shotgun, which is more simple to this kind of weapon. If you're going to use the default one or one that can take damage, and you want to do lots of rocket jumping, I recommend you use the gunboats. It doesn't matter if it's vintage, it's just my quality. But just type in gunboats and you can get them, and as you can see, minus 60% damage from rocket jumps. And I'll show you that, the difference. This is with gunboats, as you can see. I take 17 damage from a wall, I just take 13. With a shotgun though, I take 42 damage, and from a wall, I take about 46, I think. If you're gonna, basically this can kill you in about 2 hits, when, as you can see, the gunboats cannot kill you in, well, much more longer, probably triple or double. Now you have to watch your health if you're not using the gunboats, but even if you are using the gunboats, you still gotta kind of watch out for your health. Basically, this is what happens when you are using the gunboats, as you can see. So you lost about 60 health just to get to the battlefield. You know. What happens, it's kind of confusing what I'm about to tell you, but say you're using the rocket launcher and you do that and you don't want to take any full damage. But the thing is, your rockets hurt you anyway, so if you shoot a rocket underneath you, you're still taking damage. The only time to actually shoot a rocket when you're using this rocket launcher or anyone that takes damage is when you're really high in the air and you're about to take quite a lot of damage, like 30. That's like about 20, so you've got to kind of be more smarter about it. Now this is kind of more difficult, but not really leading to rocket jumping. It's called glitches. I think a lot of you heard of it by now. And sometimes the glitches can really help you. So say sometimes, I don't think I can do it on this because it's a glitch, but sometimes you shoot 2 rockets at a time, which makes them go higher. Number 2 is much more difficult, and I'm not sure if I can do this or not. Basically, 1 rocket will lead you this high. And if you use 2 rockets, obviously it'll double it. So how do you basically do 2 rockets, basically? So the way you do it is to do this. It's much more difficult, and I'm not sure I can do it. You rocket jump, shoot underneath, and you just use that rocket that you just shot underneath. So do that. It is very difficult to master. So thank you for actually watching my video, if you have been watching it. And what I will do in the future, I'll be doing loads of other guides. So basically, my favorite class is Sniper and Spy. I'll be showing you how to aim better, do stair stabs, kill stabs, maybe. So at the moment, I'm just gonna show you a quick tip you can do on a demo man. So I'm on red team. I want to get to the left side for a minute. So as you can see, the sticky jumper is basically the rocket jumper, but you know, it's different because it's got the same colors, orange and white, and basically, yeah. So if I show you this, like I said, say the server's restarting, or you just won or you lost, you can use this. I just call a vote, restart game. So restarting, what you can do is you can do this. You can kind of do a roll up, it's a bit more difficult. And basically, sticky jumper has quite a lot of power in it. As you can see, if I just put 2 here, you can get to places really fast, you can see. And I'm not jumping, by the way, I'm not pressing any key except from W. And like the rocket jumper, you have to hold control strafe. And that is also a tip. You only put 2 at a time, when in the old patch you could have more. But one other thing I like to do, I'm not sure if I can do this, but aim on there and land on this one. And you can not take full damage from this. You can see, a bit more difficult. But you know what I mean. So basically, you can get to places. The thing about the sticky jumper is, it's just like so powerful that you can just glide. So hopefully you enjoyed the video, and if you want to keep watching, because I'm just gonna mess around for no reason. Yeah, so that's the end of the tutorial. Just keep watching if you want me to mess around.
Time has been added.
Oh, by the way, quick disclaimer out there. If, like, say, I made a video of my loadouts, would you think that would get quite a lot of
Time has
views?
been added.
Just put a comment in the description, and I'll see you guys later.